Welcome to SpectraCam, where we dive into the movies that shaped our imaginations. Today, we're charging into the explosive, vibrant world of G.I. Joe, the movie. The 1987 animated epic that took the iconic action franchise to cinematic heights. On the surface, this is a pure adrenaline rush of American heroism. We've got Duke, Scarlet, Snake Eyes, and the entire Joe team facing their greatest threat yet, the ancient serpentine Cobra La, led by the sinister Golobulus. It's a visual feast of laser battles, giant monsters, and futuristic vehicles, all rendered in that glorious, bold 80s animation style. The premise is simple: save the world from a bioengineered nightmare, but the execution is anything but. This movie represents the peak of Saturday morning spectacle, a direct-to-video event that promised bigger stakes, louder action, and a sense of scale that the TV series could only dream of. It's a celebration of teamwork, courage, and technological wonder, wrapped in a package so bright and energetic, it feels like a shoulda rush for the eyes. So buckle up, Joe fans. We're going in!
Beneath that glossy, heroic surface lies a quiet, unsettling dread. G.I. Joe, the movie, is, at its core, a story about the fragility of human identity in the face of unnatural evolution. Cobra La doesn't just want conquest. They seek to transform humanity into a mutated, subservient species through their spore technology. This isn't merely a villainous plot. It's a metaphor for the loss of self, the terror of being remade against your will. Consider the Joes themselves. Soldiers defined by their roles, their uniforms, their unwavering duty. What happens when that duty confronts a threat that can literally unravel their very biology? The film whispers questions about trauma, the psychological weight of constant warfare, the fear of becoming monstrous, the existential pain of fighting an enemy that represents nature perverted. Even the bright animation style can't mask the underlying melancholy. These are characters forever trapped in a cycle of conflict. Their heroism a response to a world that keeps manufacturing new horrors. The real enemy isn't just Cobra La. It's the creeping realization that victory might only be temporary, that the battle for humanity's soul is endless and deeply, deeply lonely.
Let's talk facts and figures, because G.I. Joe, the movie, is a production powerhouse. Directed by Don Jurwich, this film boasted a stellar voice cast that blended series veterans with Hollywood star power. We had Don Johnson as Lieutenant Move, Falcon bringing that Miami Vice cool, and the legendary Burgess Meredith as the ancient wise Golobulus. Add in Sergeant Slaughter as himself, and you've got vocal charisma to spare. Budget-wise, while exact numbers are elusive, this was a premium project for Sunbow Productions and Marvel Productions, with animation outsourced to Toei in Japan, ensuring that fluid, dynamic action quality, though it bypassed theaters for a direct-to-video release due to the Transformers, the movie's box office stumble. It was a commercial success, moving units and reinforcing the brand's dominance. Critically, it's celebrated as a high point of 80s animation, a film that embraced its absurdity with earnest flair. IMDb users and fans praise its ambitious scope, memorable lines, and its role in expanding the Joe mythology. It's a testament to what happens when a creative team is given the resources to dream big and deliver pure, unadulterated adventure.
The production's shadow is long and fraught. Released in 1987, this film arrived as the G.I. Joe toy line was facing market saturation and the shadow of the Transformers. The movie's financial failure. There was industry skepticism. Could another toy-based animated film succeed? Behind the scenes, the pressure was immense. Writers and animators worked under tight deadlines, contending with network notes and the challenge of maturing the series for an older audience. all while adhering to strict toy promotion mandates. The mental toll? Imagine crafting a narrative about evolution and identity, only to have it filtered through commercial imperatives. The original script was darker, with more permanent consequences, but was softened. Duke's infamous near-death was altered due to fan backlash, a compromise that highlights the conflict between artistic risk and brand safety. The voice actors, while talented, performed in isolation, their performances pieced together in editing bays, a process that can feel disjointed, even lonely. This film is a product of its time, a struggle between creative ambition and corporate caution, leaving a residue of what might have been, a melancholy echo in every frame of its otherwise vibrant animation.
For pure cinematic energy, nothing tops the climactic battle at Cobra La's Himalayan fortress. This sequence is a masterclass in animated spectacle. As the Joes storm the stronghold, we're treated to a non-stop barrage of visual wonders. The Terrordrome unleashing waves of BATS, the massive Serpentor engaging in aerial duels, and the landscape itself, a biopunk nightmare of organic technology, coming alive. The animation soars here, with fluid character movements, dynamic camera angles that swoop through caverns and over chasms, and a color palette that contrasts the Joes' bright uniforms against Cobra La's muted, earthy tones. The detail is staggering. Every laser blast, every explosion, every monstrous creature is rendered with a care that elevates it beyond typical Saturday morning fare. It's a symphony of action, perfectly scored to a rousing, synth-heavy soundtrack that pumps adrenaline straight into your veins. This scene embodies the film's commitment to visual flair, proving that animation could deliver blockbuster-scale excitement directly to your living room. It's pure, unapologetic cinema, a reminder of why we fell in love with these characters and their world in the first place.
The most haunting moment is Duke's confrontation with the Spore. Struck by Cobra La's organic weapon, he doesn't just face death, he faces transformation, a slow, painful unraveling of his humanity. As he lies immobilized, his body encased in a cocoon-like growth, the scene strips away the action for raw, philosophical weight. Here is a leader, a symbol of American strength, rendered utterly helpless, forced to confront his own mortality and the horror of becoming other. The animation slows, the music turns somber, and we sit with his silent struggle. It's a metaphor for trauma, the invisible wounds of war, the fear of losing one's mind or body to forces beyond control. The other Joes' reactions, the shock, their desperation, mirror our own. This isn't just a plot point, it's the film's emotional core, exposing the fragility beneath the armor. Even the eventual rescue can't erase the scar of that moment. It lingers, a quiet tragedy in a loud film, reminding us that in this world of heroes and monsters, the greatest battle is often fought within, against the creeping shadow of one's own dissolution.
The legacy of G.I. Joe, the movie, is one of enduring hope and inspiration. For a generation, this film wasn't just entertainment. It was a blueprint for heroism. It taught us about teamwork, how diverse individuals like Roadblock, Lady J, and Shipwreck could unite against impossible odds. It celebrated ingenuity and courage, showing that even against ancient bioengineered foes, human spirit and technology could prevail. Culturally, it cemented G.I. Joe's place in the pantheon of 80s icons, influencing countless cartoons, comics, and even later live-action adaptations. Its positive impact lies in its unwavering optimism. No matter how dire the threat, the Joes never give up. They adapt, they fight, and they save the day, reinforcing values of loyalty, sacrifice, and resilience. The film's vibrant aesthetic and memorable quotes have become nostalgic touchstones, inspiring artists, writers, and fans to create their own stories. It's a testament to the power of animated storytelling to uplift and motivate, proving that even in a commercial landscape, Art can spark imagination and foster a sense of community. This movie tells us that knowing is half the battle and the other half is believing you can win.
Yet its legacy is also one of quiet despair. G.I. Joe. The movie serves as a grim warning about the cyclical nature of conflict and the cost of eternal vigilance. The Joes' victory is temporary. Cobra-La is defeated, but not eradicated, hinting that evil merely retreats to mutate again. This reflects a deeper human failure, our inability to solve problems permanently, our reliance on militarism as a default response. The film's subtext, with its themes of forced evolution and loss of identity, mirrors societal anxieties about technology, environmental degradation, and the erosion of self in a corporatized world. It's a product of the Cold War era, where existential threats loomed large and heroism was often a desperate reaction to systemic fear. The characters, for all their bravery, are trapped in a narrative loop, their lives defined by the next battle. This isn't inspiring, it's melancholic, a reflection on how we create monsters, both literal and metaphorical, and then exhaust ourselves fighting them. The film's commercial origins underscore this. It's a story born from market forces, a reminder that even our myths of heroism are commodities, leaving us to wonder if any victory can ever be pure or lasting.
Final verdict? You absolutely must watch G.I. Joe, the movie. Whether you're a nostalgic fan or a newcomer to classic animation, this film delivers a thrilling, visually stunning experience that captures the essence of 80s adventure. It's a time capsule of creativity, packed with memorable characters, explosive action, and a sense of fun that's genuinely infectious. For its technical achievements alone, the animation, the voice work, the scale, it deserves your attention. So grab some popcorn, rally your friends, and experience the spectacle for yourself. If you enjoyed this deep dive, help us keep the mission going. Hit that like button to show your support, subscribe to SpectraCam for more cinematic essays, and blast your thoughts into the comments below. What's your favorite G.I. Joe moment? Let's keep the conversation rolling. Until next time, yo Joe!
In the quiet after the credits roll, what remains is a whisper. G.I. Joe. The movie is ultimately a story about the masks we wear, the uniforms of heroism, the mutations of villainy, and the fragile selves beneath. It asks, in its colorful, chaotic way, what it means to be human in a world that constantly seeks to redefine you. The battles end, the heroes cheer, but the spores still drift somewhere in the narrative ether, waiting. Perhaps the film's deepest meaning lies not in victory, but in the lingering question, how do we hold on to who we are when everything, even our stories, presses us to change? It's a melancholic thought, but a necessary one, echoing long after the screen fades to black.